As we have arrived in our secondary best of 5. I'm putting my drink back in the fridge. Blam. Kablamo. Alright, bottom left side, there is a blue Proto. Sorry, not Proto. What am I saying? A blue Terran player. Oh, I could have turned it into player from Protoss after I realized. Could have been like a blue player. Playing Terran. Anyway, it's GUMIHO from Storm Gaming. Top right side, a red Protoss. He is fighting for Alpha X. Give it up for Classic. There he is. There he is. Checking for the proxies. Marching across the fields. Trying to find something, anything that's out of the ordinary. Simple barracks into command center from GUMIHO. Looks like both these players are going to go the safe route. Reaper expand and Cybercore expand. No, actually going for the Marine first. Perfectly fine. Hello, Storm Gods. No, it is Kozan, actually. Yeah, I'm a bit sillier sounding with my accents. Alright, going for the Marauder play right there. I'm still a bit on the fence. I'm on the fence about the Marauders. I've seen their potential, but I've more often than not just seen them gloriously get destroyed. But we'll see. GUMIHO playing it in a way where he's keeping one of them on his side of the field here. On top of the ramp. Might be able to catch a Adept or a wary Stalker off guard. Waiting for the shade, hoping not to get spotted right there. There we go. Does catch it. Pretty good catch. Nice little trapped Adept chasing the SCV, and all of a sudden met with quite a bit of firepower right there. Oracle, though, of course, for Classic, still being a potential threat for the future here. The Marauders on their way to the natural base might be able to pick off another Stalker or Adept if they're lucky. Get a probe as well. Might be able to get a couple of probes. Let's see what he targets. Targets the Adept first and then goes for the Stalker a little bit. Kills the Adept now. Pretty good. Might be able to get the Stalker. There is your shield battery there. You know what? This is working alright. If it wasn't for the Oracle killing 5 SCVs as well, thought it was still shooting. Apparently it wasn't. Ooh, this is trouble. Big surround with the probes. Classic manages to stem the bleeding. But he has definitely bled quite a bit. Oracle picking off more units here. Ooh, the Widowmine. Yeah, he's gone now. Got a Widowmine over here. What in the... Well. That's a lucky break for Classic. Just forgot to burrow it. There's 2 Oracles. New ones. There's a Widowmine hidden behind the refinery, and I think that's about it. One more coming in here, of course, but does get targeted down. Marine staying alive for the time being. SCV's trying to lure the Oracle into the mine, but you know what? GUMIHO just kind of taps out there. Alright, well, there's one on the board for the bottom left side, the red Protoss. Alpha Axis. Classic. Top right side, the blue Terran from Storm Gaming. GUMIHO. See if we get a fancy Marauder play this time around. GUMIHO. I don't think we will. Although, you know, he might. He might. Like, if he had actually, you know, stopped the Oracles from doing anything, it would have been great. Would have been fantastic. You know, sometimes you don't get everything you want in your first try, or even your second try. Sometimes you need 3 tries to make something work. Are we gonna get a second or a third try? I don't know, but anyone making, you know, multiple attempts is always a better thing overall. It shows spirit, gut, commitments. It's Proxy Factory. Proxy Factory. It's not something I get to say every day, you know. It's a Proxy Factory. Look at that. It's right here. To be fair, Proxy Factories, they can be incredibly strong if not found out, right? A couple of Hellions just suddenly in your opponent's mineral line. Quick and easy, dirty, but quick and easy, GG. Extremely dirty, quite filthy in fact, one might say. But you win the game, so it's a hard choice to make. Zealot across the map is going to find those 3 Marines right there. Trying to double check if there is actually a command center there, of course. Whether that is coming down at the regular time or not. Doesn't quite see it. There's a command center on the high ground, which would be nice to check for as well, of course, full classic here. But at least he kind of knows that there's no CC down here. Nor is there enough firepower to chase off his Zealot and Stalker. Maybe GUMIHO is making it look like he doesn't have enough firepower to chase them off. Right. Hard to say. 3 Hellions is all you need to one-shot a probe. Or multiple probes. Oh, that is a big old conga line. Here we are. That's only 1. That is 2. That is a really good spread on the probes so far. Especially with how they are walking around. Those Hellions are being kept at quite a bit of distance. Trying to get a couple more. Get 6. Get 7. There's 2 more on the low end of the HP bars, but doesn't look like it's gonna be happening for that Hellion right there. 7 probes. 7 probes. That's a big investment for 7 probes. But it is 7 probes. We lose 2 Hellions. 200 minerals for the price of 350. That ain't bad. That definitely ain't bad. Let's go a second base almost as an orbital now. It's kind of the one thing, right? The delay in a second base. Let's see what Classic is up to. Mostly chronoing his probe production at the moment, so... Funnily enough, I kind of feel like it's kind of starting... It's probably just kind of equaled out, right? Especially with GUMIHO not being able to mine efficiently there, being oversaturated by quite a bit. Then again, does he have anything to defend with? Again. He doesn't have a bunker. He might be dead again. I think he just dies. I think he just dies again. Doesn't have Marines, really. He needed that bunker, man. Okay, he's not dead yet, but he did lose 7 SCVs. Nice control on the Stalkers. Pick up micro being utilized here by GUMIHO, really pulling all the tricks in the basket. Those Marines, they only have so much HP. Starting to get real low right now. One Stalker does get picked off, but I mean, those Marine numbers, they ain't big enough, baby. They ain't big enough. The SCV's being pulled off the line as well. A bit of a desperate effort right there. Not going to allow GUMIHO to cling to life here. GG is called classic. A swift and deadly match number 2 there. In the bottom right side, that is a blue Terran player fighting for Psystorm Gaming. It is the GUMIHO. The man in a rush. Bottom left side, the red Brawler player fighting for Alpha X. It is classic. Then again, I'm thinking about this, right? Even if GUMIHO wins this very quickly, it's not gonna help him out. He still has to play other games, right? We still have one more best of 3 after this, or sorry, best of 5, which is going to be GUMIHO versus Nightmare, not a TVP. That is gonna go at the same speed as this goes. Then that would be a very swift day for him, though. So yeah, maybe. But he would still have to wait for Mani versus Nightmare to finish up anyway, so, you know. Might as well let it go. GUMIHO and Classic both dropped in the round of 4 of last night's Open Cup. Oof. What Open Cup was this? Are they normal openings? Oh, thank you for telling. I mean, I was watching the game, but I wasn't really reading what people were doing quite. I was just looking at the chat, actually. That's what I was doing. But, normal openings. Now I have something to say about the games. Fantastic. Always appreciate it. Little Stalker coming in. Little Stalker boy coming in. This is not much. Just not much. Still wondering if GUMIHO is trying to speed up these games for some reason. I was saying that I was distracted and I wasn't paying attention to the game. So when you said normal openings, that was the first time I realized it was normal openings. So then I was like, all right, I probably should say something like that. Yeah, exactly. Is Alpha New a new caster? I don't know who Alpha New is. Do we have a new Alpha New? Is that a thing now? Well, that's awkward. Oracle flying into the medevac right now. Cyclone comes in to help out. Won't be able to get it, right? No. That's right. It's not the actual Kozan, it's really Kozan. 2 Cyclones and a bunch of Marines. 1 medevac to guide them to where they want to be. Dropping the fake drop. Then going out of that, and then going in with the real drop. Interesting. Just an adept there. That's 1 adept. Just stuck on the between those buildings. It's interesting. I see that every day. Probably for a Reaper. Jumping up there potentially. I don't even know. Is he gonna get any of these buildings? Is he? He shouldn't, right? Stalkers are struggling here, and I mean, these Cyclone look-ons, they are working. Again, gaining slow efficiency. Oh, losing one of them. Might lose another one. Picked it up just in the nick of time. The Phoenix not really helping out so far either. Phoenix could be quite useful here, right? Just kind of picking up a Cyclone, running out of that to break a look-on. Yeah, just killing them. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. What to make of that? GUMIHO, I don't know if I like that. I mean, at least he's not gonna die straight up now, right? Although, you know what that is? Actually, the Phoenix might just lift up the siege tank, and then it's just those Stalkers versus the Marines. This could be bad. This could be bad. Classic, not really pushing the issue, though. Should give GUMIHO the time to get everything sorted. A weird fight. It definitely was. I guess if you kill, like, the Cybercore and the Gateway, right, it's nice, but... Interesting. Definitely some interesting approaches here from GUMIHO. I don't know if he has to play somewhere, or... Might have to be in the tournaments pretty soon. Trying to hide some builds? I don't know. Like, it must have worked at some points in time, right? Going in with those Cyclones and the Marines like that on that angle. I mean, you think it was just like a random decision he made right now, just being like, you know what, he has his buildings there. I got a couple of Cyclones. We may as well, right? We may as well just try it out, see what happens. Gold base of Classic just happily chugging away at these golden minerals. Completely unknown to GUMIHO. GUMIHO really only seen this bit of Classic side of the map. Well, I mean... Good amount of Zealots being warped in. How many gateways are we on? 9 gateways at the time. 26 Zealots. 28 right now. This is a fantastic SimCity though from GUMIHO. Look at this. A secondary wall in down below is natural base ramp. Even more supply depots being put up right now. It's like he knows there's a wave of Zealots coming. Does have 3 siege tanks here in a deadly position. If these Zealots try to wiggle their way through the middle here, they are going to be in the perfect line of fire for those siege tanks, the Marines behind. But there's the Phoenix lifting up all 3 of them. So now the Zealots just get their way with those Marines. More Zealots now on top of the siege tanks as well. Another one being lifted up right there. I'm not even sure where that Phoenix was. Is this going to be enough though from Classic? I don't... well, actually, that is going to be a lift up. I don't think he can push the issue any further, though. That is the problem here. He might be able to. If these Marines overextend too far from these siege tanks, maybe, but... not really the case. A lot of new people actually around today, huh? Or people that are just unfamiliar with me. think I'm Biomul for the new Alpha. The new X-Man. I don't know. No, I'm Kozan. I've been around for a long time in Alpha X. I think I joined Alpha X about like half a year after it was created. I believe it used to be something else though. I didn't really go into the past, but anyway. It's been a while. A couple of zealots charging down the highway. As finally we have some pressure onto this gold base. Probes have to be pulled quite quickly. Only loses 3 of them. Pretty well done. Not enough Marines there to kill off a Nexus, but might be able to kill off the pylon. With that maneuver right now, GUMIHO looks like he has a bit more space on the map. Try and move out, well, I guess, the bio units. I thought he was pushing maybe with siege tanks. Oh, there we go. He's going to come in with the siege tanks now as well. He's going to reclaim this area right now. Classic, no eyes on this spot, and that's an important spot. Those siege tanks just freely going to set up right now. But maybe the Liberator going to be set up onto the minerals, right? Where's he going to set it up? No, he's not going to set it up actually at all. As he does set it up, Classic just walks away. Pretty smart, pretty smart. May sacrifice the mining of his gold base and his new 5th base here though for quite a while. But the siege tanks, they are exposed at the moment. Loses one Nexus. Trying to protect the other one. So a lot of stuff happening right here, but we'll try to get it all on screen for you. Chasing down the Marines again, but staying away from the siege tank range. It is only 3 siege tanks. I feel like with a good setup of zealots on the back flank right there, they've been able to get that ball rolling, but unfortunately couldn't quite figure out the positioning of GUMIHO there and find the correct angles and avenues of attack. Is this going to be one of them? I'm not entirely certain. Charging up a ramp right now, pretty good concave for GUMIHO, but it may just be barely too... No, that is going to be held by GUMIHO. That was a good setup by him. Thought the siege tanks were just a little bit too slow, but hey, it worked out perfectly well there. Still committing all these Marines and Marauders, but hey, alright. Destroys enough of the Protoss army to really make that worth it. Truly, look at that. Units lost tab, heavily favoring GUMIHO right now as he claims his own gold base fresh and ready for mining. Killed off the Nexus there, of course. The top base in the top left side still operational. But is that gonna be enough to keep Classic in this game right now? Taking quite a blow. Having to remake much of his army. Then again, he did keep 2 of his Colossi alive. Up to 4 right now, 3 Archons. Getting some of that high tier tech meat army back on the bones. GUMIHO probably don't want to run that little little of units into all those Colossi. Classic's got to run for it once again. Saves all the probes. It's just 1 Marine after all. But still good to see the quick reactions coming in. Production tab. Let's take a look at the upgrades right now. Pretty equal. +3 armor is the only one not in the play right now for GUMIHO. As Classic once again tries to barge his way through the choke points of the Terran. The siege tanks weren't perfectly set up for this location right now. I don't see any siege tanks from the bottom. So the siege tanks from the top side still not sieged up quite yet. Only now starting to siege, but the bio still looking pretty tough there. Still quite a lot of units. The Zealots finally bring back some protection for the Starkers and Colossi, but it may just be not enough. Kind of a little bit of a somewhat equal trade once again. And once again, 2 Colossi remain. Very awkwardly trying to move backwards. Enough Vikings, though, to make sure they don't get away fully. Wow, it's ridiculous. Once again, quite a sick fight there for GUMIHO. Didn't go as proper as the previous time, but, I mean, he's killed everything Protoss related. Can't really say anything bad about that situation. Mules onto the gold. Continues onwards. Gold finally being recaptured by Classic. Of course, now he has this little pocket base as well. The 3rd pocket base. And... oh. Bit aggressive with the blink there. Let's take a look at the income right now. Yeah, sorry about the Korean guys in the chat, guys. I'm just gonna let it slide myself because normally we have a Korean stream for this. Unfortunately, our Korean caster and commentator and host Inu, he is sick, so he can't be here today. So they're hanging out with us. They're all perfectly fine people. They're all nerds of the StarCraft kind, so you'll be fine. You're in good company here. Nice attack coming in from GUMIHO, looking for a potential... I don't know what else he can really get here. Gets 10 probes. Jumps into the Medivacs, goes into the main base. The Medivacs quickly get it targeted down, though. The most important one, actually. Taking a bunch of Marines with it. As 10 probes go down, so does most of the Terran forces that were sent on this escapade right here. Having to retreat the Medivacs, bringing all of those back home would be quite a boon for GUMIHO. Looks like they do have safe passage here. 12 o'clock now, also being taken by Classic. May have been in a bit of a lapse with his economy, but he is definitely making sure that is not a permanent thing right now. Looking to make that a lot better. 2 little liberators coming in from that angle. A Zealot warp in with the Warp Prism right here in the natural and the main base. As the gold base going to get targeted as well. Quite a lot of probes going down. SCVs going down. The planetary fortress. Weird trying to commit to it that much. I mean, he gets 9 SCVs, but you know, this would have been maybe an easier angle to attack into. Pretty sure the Warp Prism died there as well. Units lost definitely in favor for GUMIHO still. Gets most of the observers there also. So yeah, Classic managed to claim a bit more of the map. But at the same time, he definitely has been taking the worst fights over and over again. He may have had a bit of extra income here and there. But I don't think that's going to be enough. Nexus number, how many? Number 2 actually. Only the second Nexus that went down so far, but guess what? That's number 3. Guess what? That's number 4. No, I don't think he will, right? There's no way he's going to get that. Too many Zealots in the way. And there you have it. Wonderful attack by GUMIHO. Gets away with most of his stuff. Trading efficiently once again. Even killing one of the more important bases here for Classic. Might be actually his most important base, right? Just how much mining he can do from that location is what I mean with. Storm is upgraded, as well as Disruptors coming out on the production tab right now. First Disruptor of the game. Ghost already in production as well for GUMIHO though, so it's going to be a battle of micros. See who lands the best abilities here. That's what you need to do, though, right? That's what we always say. You need to have those ghosts as the High Templar are coming out on the field. But this is as close as you're going to get it, timing-wise. Let's see, EMPs coming through. Beautiful EMPs. No storm for you, my sir. Quickly transforming him into Archons, but that's a lot of potential damage. Not going to partake in this fight. Is it going to matter, though? There might not be enough Vikings ready to poke away at these Colossi as they are marching their way into the soft underbelly tissue of those Marines and Marauders. Going to make a play on this base right there. The one medevac drop might get cleaned up pretty easily, it looks like. Trying to figure out if Classic will continue onwards with his little play here as well. Into 2 Widow Mines. Oh, that is unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. GUMIHO has a bit of bio on both sides of this Protoss army. Wants to try and get the best EMPs possible. As many Marines and Marauders as possible and go for the play right now. There we go. There's one EMP landing pretty well. Doesn't have the enhanced shockwaves abilities for the Ghost, so that's a bit of a problem. But yeah, there's just no way. There's just no way he's winning that. GG is called as, well, Classic takes game number 3.